So Eric, again, last night in your presentation you talked about network slices, and they mentioned again today in the presentation. What does that mean? And then I want to talk a little bit about federation and orchestration of network assets.
Yes, network slices. I believe I showed a video of something we are doing on our real network, on the LTE network with its packet core and its policy control and its cloud. And what we're essentially trying to do is to combine all those resources, the radio resource, network resource and the cloud resource, into something that's meaningful for a user or an enterprise, so that you could order it online, just from a menu, a click of a button, and then you could order certain characteristics. Similar to how SLAs are set up today, but online and very much dynamic. So when we combine all these resources, a typical access speed, a latency, maybe with some caching further out in the network to reduce latency or to improve user experience, all of that, all of those resources combined, we call it a slice, a network slice. And those network slices, they could be different for a media company using the network, or the car industry connecting their self-driving car sometime in the future, or just regular mobiles.
Right.
So these network slices, they take the unique assets from the network and present them in a meaningful way to the enterprise or the user. So that's basically how we interface between the network and the external world, the clouds on the outside.
So orchestration, what does that really mean in practical terms?
So we have a way in our industry to reuse and use terms over and over again, and I think orchestration is one of those terms that could exist in multiple layers in the network. So I think you're right to say that there is no single definition. But the way we use it in this context is that we do have resources that are coming from different fields. We have resources in the network, like the resources on the radio access and the IP network, and we have resources in the cloud in terms of what the applications need. And now we would like to combine all of those resources in one control and one management, and that is what we include in the orchestration. So it goes cross-domain and it sets up and manages the resources.
Federation.
Federation is usually used as similar thinking here, that it can be used in many different ways, but the way it's mainly used is to say that we have islands of similar capabilities, but they are really islands. So one operator doing their thing, another operating doing their thing. And when we need to connect these islands, two operators or an operator maybe with a cloud service provider somewhere on the internet, we need to connect them in a standardized way. We need to federate across these interfaces. So it's typically to expand the reach, it's typically to ensure interoperability, and we use it typically between different large players that needs to interconnect.
Is that to say that that interface will be done through APIs, and maybe talk about the future, next 12 to 18 months of exposing those APIs, some of the challenges and opportunities for Ericsson?
Indeed, so APIs would be one of the ways to actually get access to these and connect. And we do have APIs again on many layers in the network, and what we are seeing is that some of these bigger ecosystems, we had Facebook here talking in this conference, and others, they do not necessarily need a large set of APIs, but they would need an interface point to the network platform. And that's very much what we're seeing now, that big ecosystems, they connect to the networks in order to get better user experience for all their applications, all their devices. And that is happening as we speak. This type of connection between the external ecosystem and the networks is something that is happening across the world now.
Eric, thanks for your time.
Thank you.